What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel for my second subscriber requested course of the day. Real quick before we get started, I told you guys I would let you know about the mat. Overall, it's holding up pretty good. I do feel, second round today, I do feel a little bit of soreness in my left elbow. Tough to tell. I haven't been playing much out here, so tough to tell if that round before did it. It was a little bit sore before, but I think that has more to do with all the yard work I've been doing lately and doing some lifting, specifically sometimes triceps and kind of like chest press, some of those pushing motions sometimes put some extra wear and tear and some strain on elbows specifically. So you would think that the heavy strikes would lead. Obviously you're making contact and you're hitting down more so with your left hand and kind of pushing a little more with your right. Don't feel it in my right elbow, so you'd think it would be more, if it was mat related, be more both elbows being sore, and I would have some wrist and maybe some shoulder soreness, but wrists, everything feel fine. It's just that left elbow. So wanted to just mention that if you guys are maybe looking for a new mat, or if you guys caught the first couple videos I did when I was talking about this, just trying to be as transparent as possible. Obviously I bought this myself, so I have no benefit of talking about this in a positive light or even a negative light, just kind of trying to give my honest review. But yeah, just a little bit of soreness in my left elbow, but tough to again isolate with all the other things I do besides golfing back here. Tough to tell if that's from the mat or not. As for this video, we are doing, like I said, second subscriber request of the course of the day. This course in particular is Tobacco Road in Sanford, North Carolina. The course designer was Ping Zing 2, and this request comes courtesy of the subscriber Handsome Devil. Shout out to Handsome Devil for the all the requests over the years, the comments you've left, the support you show the channel. Handsome Devil mentioned in a comment, he said, this was in reference, it was the Cape Kidnappers video. He said, wow, congratulations, great round, especially on that course. GSPRO is probably the best upgrade for the R10. A friend of mine has a Unicore system with GSPRO, and I get to play during the winter, and I really like it. I'm not a fan of the putting, so your setup with the auto putt would be my preference. When you get a chance, could you play Tobacco Road in Sanford, North Carolina? So, yes I can, and the chance to play it has finally come. So, Tobacco Road, pretty famous course. I believe this is the course that there are no out of bounds, and there's tons of bunkers, and I don't think they even rake the bunkers and everything. I believe this is the course where you can ground your club. Everything is considered like almost like a waste bunker, so you can ground the club, I believe, in every single one of these bunkers. Pretty cool course design, something a little bit different, but giving it a go. I've seen a few different videos. I haven't seen the GS Pro video of this one, but I've seen other people playing it in real life, and should be pretty cool playing through this with some of the scenic holes. But for the rundown, everything's linked down below in the description. I'd appreciate if you guys click on those Amazon links before you do any of your Amazon shopping. Great way to support the channel at no additional cost to you guys. But Garmin Approach R10 behind me is on a DIY level stand, if I can talk, similar to what Handsome Devil mentioned. He's a fellow R10 user. 5x4 mat, like I mentioned, Callaway Superfast balls, 10x7 nets, and GS Pro you're seeing as the simulator software running on my gaming laptop over here in the shade. So without further ado, first hole, par 5, 517. Take a look at this flyover, down 15 yards, so 517, playing about 500. Normal fairways and normal greens, same as I just played at JCB. That was the first round I played. So like I said, second round, sometimes, or most of the time, fatigue starts creeping in. We'll see if my elbow, I'm thinking, because again, it's only my left elbow, I'm thinking it might just like crack or click and then kind of get rid of that, but we'll see if that gets any worse throughout this round. And played halfway decent on the first round I played, so we'll see if we can kind of carry that over and put up a halfway decent score here. Not sure, looking at that, my eyes are catching this hill thing on the left. Not sure if that's, yeah, it looks like a grassy hill. Wondering if I like bank it off there, if it would kick, kind of like a rock would. But we're gonna go up that way. Hopefully if I hit it decent enough, maybe we'll give ourselves a little more room. Kind of a narrow landing spot, but take that line up there, play for the baby feed, and we'll see. Was swinging driver decent the first round, had averaged into the 150s for ball speed, so we'll see if we can creep those numbers up a little bit more, maybe hit about 155 on the ball. high heel, club was open, it's going to be up the right. 151, 106.8. Sit down before that bunker though. Alright, got a little bit of a generous kick to the left, 283 total, thanks to some of that downslope, so pretty decent start. What do we got left? Playing the furthest back tees like I always do, but 233 left, down 5, so got some room up there. We're gonna go this way, and I'm gonna go 4-iron. If it was 233 total and I had some room, probably would opt for the 4 hybrid, but I think this distance, consistency definitely isn't quite there with the 4-iron compared to the 4 hybrid, but if I hit it halfway decent, it's closer to a 4-iron distance. Thin to win, thin to lose. 100% thin. That was just a skull job right into the... Alright, we're in the bunker. I was thinking we were going to be in the deep rough. I don't know what happened there. Well, I don't know if the tee was in the net. The tee came flying back. That was a little bit strange. I don't know if the tee... I wasn't quite looking at it. I don't know if I hit that so low and so thin it actually hit the tee over here, or if the tee was over there and when it hit the net it popped it back, but not the best 4-iron there, to say the least. We're in the sand. So I would call this a greenside bunker, so I think it's going to play 25%. We got 35 yards, which will be right around 6 yards of reduction. However, I kind of negate those sometimes just because the Garmin's not reading the spin, it's estimating the spin using these balls as opposed to RCT. So sometimes I kind of negate that a little bit, but 35. Got to get up and out of here and land it soft. It's going to come out right. We're on a downslope, which isn't great, so that's going to come out lower with even less spin. So I was debating hitting the 56, but because of that downslope, I think the 60, launch it higher, land it a little bit softer. May need to go just a little bit. Yep. A little bit short, but we got to kick off that hill. We're on the green. I think that's a par. It is. That wasn't a super difficult shot. I knew as soon as I hit it, I didn't quite put enough on it, but hit that a little bit harder. That would have been inside the inner circle for a birdie to start off, which would have been nice, but even through one. Got some grass and mulch on here. Kind of OCD with a new mat like this. I want to keep it, one, for the video, but two, just cleanliness, I guess, and organization-wise, OCD-wise, try to keep it kind of clean and neat. But even through one, second hole, par 4, 389. Beautiful day out though, weather-wise here. Probably mid-80s, a little bit humid, not too bad. Just enough to get that light sweat going. Pretty ideal temperature for me. Just got a little bit of sweat going, keep those muscles warm. Swing it a little bit quicker. Ball goes a little bit further. Nice breeze. We're in the shade. All is good. As long as we can. This is some noisy graphics though here. I turn down the game graphics, but there's been some noisy birds here. I can hear them on my laptop. Sounds like a woodpecker in the background. Alright, bunkers galore at this course, so we're going to find ourselves in more than a few, but that's kind of the signature design of this course from what I remember. Oh, that's a high pop up to the right. That was extremely off the toe. Club face was open. I was doing that last time too though. That felt like it should have launched higher. It still came out kind of low. That was very, very toe side. Not the best there. And we're in some deep rough now with 135 left. So deep rough is going to be 21%. So it's like 26 yards. And we're down 6. So call it 20. So we got 155. And the pin's in the back. Going to come out a little bit left. And this will probably fade. So we'll aim there. It's going to be a 9-iron. Could probably hit a pitching wedge to the front. 9-iron will get us a little bit closer. A little bit thin, started at left. It was kind of a pull. I mean, missed the green. Oh, thought we were going to get away with it, but that was a pretty unlucky bounce. Just backwards and left. That was a bit thin. I wonder if just that little bit of elbow soreness is creeping in the back of my head. And I'm going to start catching things a little bit thinner. Again, I don't know if it's because of the mat or not, but leaves us with 28, up about a yard. At least we're in the fairway. We got room to work with, so gonna come out a little bit right. We'll aim there. Probably need, so 29 total. Need about 25, 26 carry. Gonna go 60. That's gonna be short again. It'll be close, but ooh, or not. I thought that was gonna be on the green and short of the inner circle. Maybe I put just enough on it. What did the Garmin have that? Maybe not. Maybe my feel. All these holes and all these swings are blended together after playing 18 already. This is 19 through 36 holes on today. I thought that needed to go, but I was actually pretty close, spot on of what we were looking for distance-wise. So, even through 2, third hole par 3, 120 down 5, so 115 total. Take a look at the flyover. Where's the pin? Pin is very, very front right. All right. It's an approach wedge no matter what, but not the easiest pin location there to try to put it close, because you bring in the possibility of, we'll go there, give ourselves a little more room, give us the possibility of possibly bringing that bunker into play, maybe that fringe not catching it all and being short right. But 120 there, 115, so it's about a 80% or so approach wedge. This is P770 approach wedge, 51 degrees. A full one that I hit decent is about 125. So choke down maybe an inch. 120 will still be fine. Realistically, I'm just looking to be on the green here for a par. That was thin. Sit. Alright, we'll take that. At least it was straight, but again, it was thin. Been doing that on course too. That seems to be my miss. More often than not, than catching them super heavy. And hitting them that thin, that shouldn't be any kind of negative and bad vibrations going into my elbow hitting it that thin. Usually it's the fat ones where you catch the mat that you get those vibrations up into your joints. But even through 3, fourth hole, par 5, 530. Where's the pin? It's gonna be a dog leg left. Got some trees here. Signature bunkers still. At least it's a little bit wider here. Don't love that little tree there on the left, but if we hit it there, looking for that baby fade. Didn't quite catch it great, but we got 151 out of it. A little more than a baby fade, but we got a kick to the left. That'll play. Should be in the neighborhood of about 260. Throwing back a little bit. I think 257 was the total. Again, that was a little bit toe side. which is kind of, again, that's a little bit rare. Generally, my miss with driver is more heel side, which is why I've been kind of locking out my elbow and locking out my left elbow, which could be, again, part of that soreness. Locking out my left elbow a bit more, and specifically with driver, trying to address the ball and line it up more towards the toe. Maybe I need to back that off just a little bit, considering I caught those last few so far out of the toe. In any event, 216 left. Pins in the back. It's going to come out left. That should be fine because this will fade. And I'm going to go 5-iron, considering I don't know if I'm going to get 215 out of it. That's like the upper end of a 5. That's like a pure 5, which probably won't happen. But even if I get 205-ish, 210, that puts us on the green in a decent spot. Thin again. Straightish, but it's gonna fade. We'll see. Short. I think I'm coming up and out of it. Got to stay down and through the shot a bit more. All right, what do we got? 32 out of the bunker again. Up about 2 yards, so 34 total. Gonna add about an extra 6 yards. So 40-ish. Let's try the 56. We got some room to work with. I don't need to quite launch this as high. I got some green to work with. And we're on an upslope out of this bunker. It's gonna come out left. So we'll aim here and looking for that neighborhood of about 35. That's gonna be too much. That's gotta sit. Yep. Well, we're gonna drop a stroke here. Seven yards left. Unless I hold this for par. It's gonna come out a little bit left. What's the green doing? Not much. If anything, so the green's going a little bit left to right, so I'm just gonna leave it where it's aimed. 7 yards total. Gonna fly this about 5, which is like halfway. 3/4-ish. Actually, what did I count this out at? I think it was 15. What did I say the other day? It was 15 feet to the very front, which would be 5. So it's like the very bottom of that net. Maybe a bit too much. Yep, pretty close though. That landed here. I wanted to land it there, but that's not bad. Unfortunately, we didn't hole it out, so we got a bogey. Oh no, we didn't. What was that, a 5? We parred it, so we're still even? I thought we were looking at a bogey. I stand corrected. Getting delirious out here. All right, well, I don't hate that, so still even through 4. 5th hole, par 4, 313. Another dog leg left. This should be interesting. There's a desert of sand to the left. This should be an interesting starting point for the driver. This is a pretty crazy hole. Where does it want us to go? Yeah, we're not doing that. So that had us over here. What's this? 233. That's a much low. That's strange. Well, that's the line I want to take. I don't know. I'm pressing J, and now it's like it was moving me in a weird spot. So 240. It's up 14 yards. I think that's about where I want to go. Those bunkers are huge, so we'll likely be in one of those anyways, but seems like a little bit of a glitch there with GSPRO. If I can average, get close to my average, about 260, 265. Granted, it's only going to play about 245, 250 with that upslope, but that should be enough to where we get over that bunker where we're aimed, I think. lower and left, but it was hit halfway decent. 151. Ooh, this is gonna work. Man, if I hit that a little bit better on that line, we could have possibly got towards the green. It's a pretty decent upslope there, so it's probably rolling backwards, but bit of a low launch again. 151 on the ball, 105. Leaves us with 29 left, up 4. So usually that would be a perfect 56 distance, but I think I'm gonna learn my lesson from the last one and hit a 60, because I think we're shorts. Oh no, we're not really short-sided, but we're on an upslope. So 33 total. I need about 29, 30 yards or so of carry out of the 60. That's gonna be short right, I think. I almost shanked that. Or long right. Wow, my feel is, I mean, we got it in there for a birdie. My feel is not quite there right now. That was very toey. Club face was open. I knew that was gonna be to the right, but generous result there for that type of strike. Brings us to 1 under somehow. It doesn't feel like I should be 1 under based on how I've hit some of these shots, but 6th hole, par 3, 141, up about a foot. So I'm gonna grab a drink, considering there was something in my throat before. I think this is gonna be a choke down 9. Take a look where the pin is. It's either a full pitching wedge or a choke down 9. All right. Need a caddy back here telling me what to hit. GSPRO's telling me to hit a 9. And that's probably what it's gonna be. So we're gonna aim here. Choke down 9. Usually this type of shot, try to play in the neighborhood of 140, 145 total. It's like a 3/4 9. That was thin. We'll see. No bueno. Never know sometimes with those thin shots. Sometimes they come out thin, you get extra distance. Sometimes they come out thin and the ball speed drops so it doesn't go as far. That was tough. 120 from the R10 on that, 125 from the game. Left with 126.9 total because we just flew into the bunker. All right. 14 yards, up about a yard. It's gonna come out left. We're on an upslope, so we'll go there. And I mean, greenside bunker, 25%, so it's like 2 yards. Basically, trying to kind of fly this almost all the way there. Somewhere in the neighborhood of that. 12, 13, 14 yards. A little bit of a drop kick. Go! Alright. Gave it back. That was close. Didn't strike it great, so didn't quite deserve the par there. Bogey on that one brings us back to even. On to the 7th we go, which is a par 4, 407-yard hole, down 17, which should help with some distance off the tee. Before I start the first round, as I'm getting things set up, and then in between the first and second, I always hear that the GSPRO theme song, the do-do-do-do-do, and it's stuck in my head. I almost need like an earbud out here listening to music to get that out of my head. Alright, don't love that palm tree there, considering I usually started a bit left, but we got a ton of room here. This is probably the widest fairway and landing spot we've seen thus far, so I'm actually going to go there. I don't love that big pine tree there. That should be fine there, and hopefully keep it relatively straight. Put something in the neighborhood of 260, 265 out there. A little bit low launch, but it's out there. downslope's helping too. So only 238 from the Garmin, 261 in the game, 296. That's one way to, that was a low toe again. One way to get almost a 300-yard drive. Getting kind of lucky here on some of these shots and the results. I wasn't the best stroke driver by any means, but at least with 117, all right, we'll go there. Actually, it's gonna come out as 1.1 degrees to the right. I'd rather not give up the inner circle. This may fade a little bit, but it's gonna be another one of those 3/4-ish, pretty close to full, maybe 80% or so, 75-80% approach wedge. Thin, toey, started left. That's gonna need to go. Is that gonna be a +3? Or is it gonna chip? We're gonna chip. Bogey. Always worried about coming up long with this club, so I'm choking down probably a little bit too much and not swinging quite enough because I'm just worried about that flyer with this club. It seems like I have a habit of going up too long, but playing it more in that neighborhood of 1 to 125, I just need to trust it and hit it fuller. 1 over through 7, 8th hole par 3, 181, down 8. .173. Take a look at the pin. That's right in between an 8 and a 7 iron. All right, pin's in the back, so I think it's going to be an 8 iron. That should be enough room. Playing towards the green. The problem is with the auto putt, you got to put it within there. So even if I hit this 8 iron and I hit it to the front of the green, it may be outside of that +2 for a bogey, but we'll see what we can do. Chunky. Should be relatively straight though. Short right. 264 on it though. That's the distance I was looking for. Usually play this 8 iron to about, did I say 264? 164. Usually play it to about 165. So it wasn't horrendous, but flared it right. Thought that actually would have ended up a little bit straighter. Garmin had that as a pretty sizable slice to the right. Maybe a slight misread there, but we've gotten lucky in some generous breaks thus far. So 20 yards, up about 2 yards, so 22, another greenside bunker, which is 25%, so 4 yards, 26 total. Gonna come out right. Aim there. Need about probably 23, 24 carry. That one felt short right again, but I think because of the lie and everything else, it was short, but I think we scraped out a par. Still 1 over through 8, 9th hole, par 4, 412. Not the easiest course in the world, but pretty cool different looks at some of these holes. We'll see if this left elbow soreness becomes a recurring thing over the next few weeks. Me cutting out a area for that Country Club Elite mat may come sooner than later. I wouldn't think it's directly related to the mat, just considering there's 15 millimeters of rubber padding, which is the same as the Country Club Elite mat. The thickness of the turf is about half, so that's contributing to some of it, but like I'm not on concrete, which a lot of people are, like in a garage or if you're at a driving range with a concrete slab underneath. So you would think that the mulch and then the dirt underneath would be able to absorb some of those strikes, if that's what's causing the soreness. But super low. Line drive up the middle though. 150 on it. I'm trying to have that feeling of I get my golf tips from YouTube Shorts, but which isn't the best. But it was Bryson that was saying it. Really, if you're trying to maximize speed and get some extra distance, you want to have the feeling of, kind of the feeling of, at least for me, I conceptualize it as hanging back. But basically, he said as you're coming through, you want to have the feeling of almost kind of sliding back, whipping that club head through. So kind of have the feeling of hanging back on it, but I think that's part of the reason why I'm kind of coming up and out of it, which is why I'm catching them a bit low on the face, but trying to just whip that club head through. And it was kind of the feeling, I don't want the R10 to register, but kind of that feeling of coming through and like coming up like kind of like that to get some extra speed through it. But 156 up 11. So 167 should be an 8-iron. Thin, started left, should fade. We'll see. Well, that works. Thought we were going to get real lucky there, but we'll take the par. Feels like I'm trying to play them a bit more, those iron shots, trying to play it a bit more back in my stance. You would think that would promote more of a downward strike. I'm still catching them thin. Hanging at 1 over though, onto the back 9 we go. Par 4, 10th hole, 410 yards. Can't see the flag, and don't love these trees over here on the right, but take a look at this flyover. It's got to be a decent dogleg right with more sand. Neighbor's got some kind of saw going or something. Apologies if you can hear that. Alright. At least the trees are on the right, so I can aim out to the left and steer clear of them a little bit and hopefully get that fade working. Ideally a baby fade, not a Mondo slice fade. Alright. Let's square this one up a little bit better, shall we? That was more out of the center, but the club face was wide open. I think it's going to work out based on the layout of this hole. Better. Ball speed and the club speed didn't really reflect that, but strike location, swung it a little bit slower, kind of geared down a little bit on that, but because of the more quality strike on the club face, it actually wasn't too bad. I'm assuming we were hitting down. There was probably some downslope there, considering we got 282 out of that, but leaves us with 120, down about 3 yards, so 117. All right, back to it, back to the approach wedge, and gotta trust it. Then I go and do that. That's got to sit. That's like 20 yards off the back. How far did that go? I choked down on that too. 147 yard. Jeez Louise. Well, that's not what we were looking for. Tried to trust it. 27 down about, or 28 down about a yard, so 27. We're on a downslope. That's gonna kill some spin. Got to try to fly this. About 22, 23, 24, maybe 25. Have it land super soft. Gonna open this up, fly it higher with the 60. I kind of thinned that too. It's gonna work though. Par, one way or the other. Gotta stay down and through the ball. Down and through the ball. All right, still one over. 11th hole, par 5, 5 hundo on the dot. A lot of dog legs here. Where does it want us to land this? I guess we'll go there. I mean, it's a pretty open spot over here. It's just kind of like for shots like this to be able to just making the hole longer, aim it that way, but try to cut the corner at least if I can. But it's a pretty long hole, so par 5, we put something out there and play into the fairway, and then see what we have left into the green. That was squared up a little bit better. That should be, wow, sizable fade though. That was right out of the center. It was a little bit heely, but that was right out of the center of the club face. Those were two at least better strikes. Club face seems to be a bit open, and or probably club path wasn't great on that. 2.7. Like to be a little more neutral with driver, if anything, slightly into out, but not too bad. 269. 177 left, up 9, so 186. Where's the pin? Ooh, we're short-sided. Decisions. It's gonna have to be a 6-iron. I can't carry the 7 that far. We'll be in that bunker. If I hit the 6-iron good, we're gonna be in the bunker on the back, but at least this gives us a chance to get up and over that first bunker. Toey came out left, and it'll probably fade. That's gonna be short. Oh, what a brutal bounce. It's exactly where I thought it was going to be, short right. And unfortunately, we just went seemingly about 10 yards backwards into the bunker. Nice 158 yard 6-iron. All right, this is fun. At least we're on an upslope, but this is a Mondo bunker. This bunker, if you look over here, this bunker is so big and so steep, there's stairs getting out of it. It's wild. And we're short-sided, of course. So 26, and then 25%, like 4 yards, so like 30. I mean, this is a hit and hope. I gotta catch this clean, launch it high. This is gonna be a 30-yard flop shot, pretty much, with the 60. I definitely got it up there. That could be good. Sit. Let's go. That's a good shot there. Very happy with that. That launched way up. That probably went so high that might have gone out of frame for you guys. I know you can see most of the nets up there. There's this base net, 1, 2, 3 nets all the way up, but happy with that shot. Brings us back to even somehow again. 12th hole, par 4, 414. And another dog leg left. Why can't I hit all my wedge shots like that is the question. Alright, Mr. Sim 2. Let's put something out there. Talk about a narrow landing spot. I'm not sure. I don't know if we've had a straight hole yet. Seems like almost every single hole has been a dog leg one way or the other. And it's kind of substantial dog legs at that. Pulled it left. And it's drawing on top of it. Oh boy. Alright, we got through it. 259 total after a kick off the tree. I can feel fatigue creeping in. I'm not swinging it as quick. I got up to, I think on the first round at JCB, I think I swung one at like, it was 109 point something, and my best ball speed was like 153 point something. Didn't feel like I swung that one super slow. 105.6, not terrible, but 151, it's about 3-4 miles an hour, both club and ball that are slower, and that didn't feel like I was gearing down on that one. I mean, I wasn't swinging out of my shoes, but fatigue's definitely becoming a factor, so I may need to start clubbing up just a bit. 128 out of the sand. Call this a fairway bunker, which is 5-10%, so 10% at the most will be 12-13 yards. Aim here. Go pitch and wedge. Might not get there considering it's a dynamic lie, or a dynamic penalty, the 5-10% based on the lie, which is pretty flat. It's going to come out right. And then about 2 yards of upslope, so we'll see. Maybe closer to a choke down 9 than a full pitch and wedge, but considering I've been hitting some things pretty thin. Alright, that wasn't thin. If anything, that was popped up a little bit, that was hit pretty good. Ooh, that's a generous roll out there. That works. Birdie, tweet, tweet. Strange. It's always the rounds, I'm not playing horrendous by any means, but it's always the rounds where I don't feel like I'm doing anything particularly great, and somehow we end up with a decent score. I mean, we're back to 1 under, and it doesn't feel like I'm hitting anything particularly well. That was, don't get me wrong, that was a well-struck, pretty ideal. See if I can show you guys. If anything, I mean, that was pretty perfect actually, but dead center of the club face. You guys see? Yeah, right there. I mean, dead center of the club face. If anything, it was like just a fraction low, but doesn't get too much better stroke-wise, at least for me. Maybe a fraction towards the toe, but that's a pretty good strike all in all. All right, 13th hole par 5, 521. Big dog leg right. What's that thing over there to the right? That's like some kind of plant, oil, or energy. Right there behind it. Tobacco Road. Looks almost like a, I don't know, quarry, oil drilling, something. Kind of pains me to, on these dog legs, making the hole longer by aiming towards the fatter section of the fairways, but it's a smarter move. Hit hit pretty good again. Ball speed's dropping off though. Swung at 106, 148. Felt like it was going to be better than that. Was a bit low heel, but definitely wasn't horrendously hit. I just think speed's dropping off a bit, like I've been saying. All right, where are we going now? We blocked out, despite hitting a pretty decent 280-yard shot to the fat part of the fairway. Wow, 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 wow. I think we're gonna have to lay up. It's a par 5. I'm sure that's why they designed it this way, to force you to hit a good shot. But unfortunately, if there was only that one section of trees, I'd probably go for it and see if we get lucky through the trees. But if you guys look here with this flyover, we had to get through that section and that section, which is not smart. So if we aim over here, that's a better line. We've got 234 on this line out that way. What's back there? All right, we got some room. 237 right into that bunker, up 12 yards. I'm gonna go 3-wood up there. That's actually a bunker I wouldn't mind being in. If I can hit this 250 up there, you know, par 5, hitting 3 out of a bunker greenside. Oh, it's hit pretty solid. 145 ball speed, 236 carry from the Garmin. Sit. All right, I'll take that. That was probably my cleanest, best struck 3-wood today. Unfortunately, the whole layout didn't do us any favors on that one, but that's a good miss. Chipping 3 out of the deep rough into a par 5, 44 yards. What's deep rough? 21%, so 8 yards, 52 total. Short-sided over this bunker. It's gonna come out left. What am I gonna hit? Let's go 56. I'm trying to work on this 50-yard shot with this 56. Kind of a thin skull job, we'll see. Yeah. Alright, we're on the green though, that should be a par. Dead center of the cliff face. Literally, like I've been saying with these wedges, literally tears the cover off the ball. Can't hit it too much dead center than that. Right there. A bit low, like I said, kind of thin skulled it a little bit, but literally tears the those matte covers off the ball. Same thing when I come out here and practice and I do some wedge shots. Same thing with the regular coating for regular white golf balls. It just tears those off too. All right, sticking at 1 under. 14th hole, par 3, 156. Down 13 yards, so 146, 143. It's either another one of those choke down 9s or a full pitching wedge, depending on where the pin is. .143. I guess we'll go choke down 9. I want to get it up and over that water. Toey. That's got to go. It'll be dry, but I'm gonna chip this, I think. All right, this is manageable. Nine yards. Not much to contend with. It's gonna come out a little bit right, and the green's sloping. We'll go there. I'm still trying to get adjusted. I've been playing a decent amount on GS Pro, but something like this, trying to get adjusted of how much this ball, once it hits the green, how much is actually going to trickle from left to right with the, you can see the dots moving on the green, but 9 yards total. Probably going to fly this 5 or 6, so bottom of the net. Pushed it a little bit right. Has a chance though. Ooh. Kind of drop kicked that a little bit too, but delicate shot like that. Usually, since there's no putting, kind of forgiving around the greens with some of those little shots, but it was close. Still 1 under. 15th hole. This is actually a little bit straighter, but we got trees. 15th hole, par 4, 355, down 16 yards. Seems like it's either a dog leg or it's a little bit straighter, but then you got tons of trees and bunkers to contend with, so no free lunch either way. Getting delusional with these birds. There's some birds around here and there's some birds on the computer. I can't tell which one's which. High toe pop up. Straight though. Ooh, we're on a roller coaster here. Crazy undulation. Guess it was more of a high toe than wasn't like a sky ball pop up, but it was definitely higher on the face, a bit higher launching, but maybe just felt like that because I've been catching everything kind of low in the face today with driver. Actually wasn't too bad. 282 total. Slope helped on that obviously. Only 237 from the Garmin, 258 in the game, 282 total. That's almost 30 yards of rollout. Leaves us with 72, short-sided. Gonna come out right, and we're on a downslope. Yikes. So it's like a little over 3 yards, or 2 yards rather. So 70 total. Go 56. This is a hidden hope. Problem is, gotta hit it enough to get up and over and onto the green, and launch it high enough to land it soft to be able to get it to sit. All while trying to guess the distance, how much I need to choke down, and the speed. But we'll see. Pushed it a little bit right. I should have the distance, I think. These kicks are unreal. Tweet, tweet. I'm getting very lucky with these kicks. Definitely knew that was going to be to the right, but I mean, got extremely lucky with where that landed and how that kicked, like right towards the pin. 2 over somehow. Jeez. Alright, let's just keep this going. 16th hole, par 4, 317. Another, well, this may not be a driver hole. That's almost 90 degrees to the left. What are we gonna do here, folks? Can we go here, or we block? Nah, it's right over those trees. That's dumb. I want to do it, but that's dumb. So we're gonna have to play to here. What is that, 224, 243 there. We'll take this line right there, and I'll go 4 hybrid off the deck. First time hitting that today. Gotta take the club head cover off. Alright, that's all we were looking for. Wasn't the quickest in the world, but that should be pretty good. I mean, up 12 yards, that's pretty much 230 total on the rollout, and it was up 12. Didn't swing it the quickest, but that was probably in the neighborhood of about 240, 245 on a flat fairway, I think. Again, swung it kind of easy, but that was a pretty clean strike, so pretty much stock 4 hybrid type of distance there. Leaves us with 85 up 9, so 94, pins in the back. It's going to come out left, down slope, that should be fine because this may fade a little bit, and approach wedge, I think. I may need to sit. That was pulled a little bit, that could be close to 100. Yep, sit. Oh, we just got it. Par. That was like we had like a yard to play with there. If that went a yard further, that would have been on the fringe, and we either would have had to chip it or would have gave us a bogey. All right, 2 under with 2 holes left. 17th hole, par 3, 146, down 12, so 134 should be a really good pitching wedge number, depending on where the pin is. Middle-ish left, by the looks of it. Maybe front left. Look at this green. Look how far this green goes over that way. What a wild green. Alright. Debating aiming left, but we're just going to go right at it because I don't really want to be in that bunker in case I pull it. There's a little more room to the right, so right there, 134, let's do it with the pitching wedge. Thinned it. That's going to have to go a little bit. Get a bounce. Ooh, alright, I think we have a chip for 8-yard chip. Didn't quite catch that great. What do we get out of that? 138 total, but that was with the downslope. 117 carry, 130 in the game. Alright, 8 yards. It's going to come out a little bit right. Green's sloping that way. So, do like 2 clicks to the right. 8 yards total. So I want to fly this about 5, which again, bottom of the net. Got to sit a little bit. Right past the pin, a little bit long, but par. That's all we need. I will be very happy if we par this to be 2 under. Even if I double this and we're still even. Alright, 18th and final hole here, folks. Another dog leg. 18th hole, par 4, 382. Dog leg left. Take a look at this flyover. Par or bogey? Definitely very, obviously, trying to get a birdie, but very happy with a par. Birdie would be ideal. Pretty happy with a bogey, and then at worst a double bogey, we're still even, so gives ourselves some wiggle room going into this 18th hole, which is nice. And looks like it's pretty open. And then we get that one tree there on the left. Actually, I'm going to reset the aim and just go right down the middle. We got some room both left and right, so just going to get this up in the air off the tee. Anything 250 out there plus gets the job done. Wasn't the quickest in the world, but that should be fine. 104, 146. Should set us up the right side, being able to go back to the left into this green. That was a geared down fairway finder type of shot. Not that I have a ton of speed left in the tank at this point anyways. 35 holes in, but happy with that. And we got a good look here. 118. Another approach wedge shot. So 118, we're on a down slope, it's gonna kill some spin, it's gonna come out a little bit right, up about a little over 2 yards. So we'll go here, and honestly, I'm just gonna hit this full, hit a full approach wedge. And if I hit it full, 125, that's fine. Even thin, if I scull it, should still be, I mean, not if I hit it 147 like that other one, but just a pretty smooth stock approach wedge, I think. A little bit chunky, but it should be decent. Oh, wow. I thought that would have got there. All right, 11-yard chip. Was a little bit heavy on the mat. Did kind of get up and away from me a little bit, but that's exactly why I swung that pretty full, just in case something like that happened. What did we get out of that? 107, 101 from the Garmin, 104. Huh. Thought that would have carried a little bit more. I thought that felt pretty good coming off the face. I thought that would have been just maybe a little bit chunky. I thought that would have been closer to the neighborhood of about 115, 120, and I thought that was going to work out. But 11 yards. Gonna come out a fraction left. So we'll go here. 11 yards total. Probably gonna fly this about 8. So probably looking at having it touch right around there. I don't know about that. Sit. Alright. Launched it higher than I wanted to, but I hit it pretty soft, so all in all it worked out. And we got our wish for par. So this was actually pretty good. I'm happy with that for sure. Didn't feel like I did anything particularly well, but for a course like that, that's a pretty clean looking scorecard in my book. So from Tobacco Road in Sanford, North Carolina, course designer was Ping Zing 2. Great job by he or she. And this comes courtesy of the subscriber by the name of Handsome Devil. Shout out to Handsome Devil for the fun request. It always helps when I play well too and put up a good score. So ended up with a 2 under 69. Nice. Even par, 36 on the front. No, so it must have been 35. Yeah, no, what am I saying? I was 1 over on the front. So it was 35 and then 3 under on the back. Pretty clean looking scorecard though by my books. Mostly pars on the front, 1 birdie, 2 bogeys. So like I said, 1 over on there, and then all pars and birdies, which I do not say very often on the back 9 for a 3 under. So it must have been, yeah, 35, 36. Yeah, so 36 on the front, 33 on the back. Not too bad. This will be a better statistics to look at. 12 pars, 4 birdies, 2 bogeys. Don't hate that at all. 296 was the longest drive, 268 was the average, 148 average ball speed, best one was 151. I think fatigue was a factor in there, just dropping things down a little bit. 26 putts, 4 sand saves, a little over an hour. Only 33% greens in regulation. That's kind of what I was talking about. Didn't feel like I was hitting anything particularly well, but got away with a lot of stuff. So 33%, want to be at least 50% on both of these, if not 75. But 33 is pretty low, only 6 out of 18. However, the driver, once again, that Sim 2 saved us, especially with all those dog legs. 11 out of 13, 85%, doesn't get too much better than that in my book. Handicap for this course was a negative 1.5, basically a plus 1.5. Certainly would not happen like that in real life from the furthest back tees, but GS Pro will take it. My average handicap is still all jacked up at a negative or a plus 84.1, and I still don't know how to fix that. If anyone knows that's watching this and made it through this far in the video and knows how I can fix that. I deleted the scorecard in, which was the Ferry Point round. I deleted that scorecard within GS Pro, which I thought would do it, but it still hasn't kind of fixed and reset itself, so I don't know if there's an additional way for me to reset that and delete that score, but it would be nice to have a true handicap within GS Pro of kind of my average handicap of what I've been playing back here. But all in all, 2 under 69, very happy with that. So gonna wrap this one up, break things down, calling it quits on a high note here for today. 2 rounds in the books, 2 pretty good scores, played better on this one than the first one, so always nice when it works out that way. But check out those Amazon links down below in the description. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Shout out to Handsome Devil for the request. If you guys have any requests for courses, let me know down in the comments, and I'll see you guys the next course.